I guess is good. Hi everyone. Shit. Hi everyone, and welcome to shit. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and Aiden English, and today on Impact or Hit, we're gonna have a good show here today, because Shrek is going to get another match with Walter here today on Impact or Hit, Joey Styles says. You got that right, Jonathan Coachman says. Shrek wants to win back the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings that he lost to Gumford yesterday, Jonathan Coachman says, and we'll see how that works out. Well, first off, I hardly doubt that Shrek is going to beat Gumford. Gumford is one of the very few wrestlers that has only been beaten maybe 3 times since he's been in WWE, and hasn't lost that much since he's been in the TWF. So I hardly doubt that Gumford is going to, hardly doubt that Walter, hardly doubt that Shrek is going to beat Gumford. Well, that could be your belief. That could be your belief, Aiden. But at the end of the day, we truly believe, I believe, that Shrek, is going to beat Gumford and win back the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winning, Joey Styles says. Well, only time will tell if that happens or not, Jonathan Coachman says. We'll have to go to the ring now. We have to go to the ring now and see how that all plays out, Jonathan Coachman says. But I don't think that's going to play out all well. Alright. And now, here comes Gumford coming to the arena. This thing just likes to fall over. Alright, everyone. Shit. And up. Ow. Alright, everyone. As you can see, a two-time TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter. And did I beat that ogre Shrek yesterday on Dynamite or Mike? And I'm going to do it again here today on Impact or Hit. So, Shrek, if you think you're man enough, or should I say ogre enough, to take this TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings away from me, by all means come down. But you're not going to win. Now Shrek gets in the ring now. Now Gumford has to get out of the way for Shrek to come walking in the ring, Joey Styles says. So, Gumford, somehow, someway, you're the TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter. Oh, that's all good and all. But let's talk about how you went by winning that. I'm not going to come out here and I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm going to say, yeah, you were the greater man that day, Gumford. But the one thing I will not say is you're not the world's greatest wrestler, or greatest fighter, or greatest overstar, whatever you want to call yourself. I will win back the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings. That will happen to me. That will happen here today on Impact, on Hit, and that's all going to be going on. So you think, Shrek, you think that you're going, so Shrek, you think you're going to win the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings. Well, I'm not going to be putting that on stake today. Well, I got some good news. I got some bad news, Shrek. I got some good news. I got bad news. But it's mostly bad news for you, Gumpher, because you will be putting your TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings on stake here today on Impact or Hit, if you like it or not. And you will be fighting Shrek. So let's bring Shrek in the ring now. Daniel Bryan, you might have the onlook as the main overseer, but as a wrestler, you never got my onlook. All you mostly did was get yourself wounded all the time during your free runs in WWE. And everyone thought you were the shit when you were in ROH, but that's not true. You were what? A 4-time WWE heavyweight fighter. And all 4 of those runs were let down. You were a 1-time AEW heavyweight fighter, and that was a letdown too. Well, we're not talking about me being a former world heavyweight fighter, 4-time WWE heavyweight fighter, or 1-time AEW heavyweight fighter. We're talking about you fighting Shrek. And I can tell you right now, Gumpher, stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Oh, so now she won't stand up now due to me just shifting one shoe around, and now she can't stand up anymore. Come on, stand up! Well, this is for the TWF Pennsylvania Reich winnings. First, he is, from far, far, far away, he is Shrek, stand up. And he is the TWF Pennsylvania Reich fighter, Gumpher. Standing, well, as we can tell, Gumpher thinks will be a cakewalk. And it will not be a cakewalk when fighting Shrek, Joey Styles says. And with a body slam, Joey Styles says. Well, that's right, Jonathan Coachman says. You know, Gumpher seems to think he's God's gift to skilled wrestling. But we all know that's not true. That's his belief, Jonathan Coachman says. I'll tell you right now, Aiden English says, Gumpher will beat Shrek. Because Shrek isn't going to be skilled enough to beat Gumpher. 1, 2, and only a kick out. So, yeah, that's not... See, I told you wasn't going to happen. He's not man enough, or he's not ogre enough to beat Gumpher. You know, Aiden English says. Well, we'll see about that, Aiden, if he is man enough or ogre enough to beat Shrek, Joey Styles said. Another ogre splash on Gumpher, formerly Walter. 1, 2, and only a kick out. This time Gumpher kicked out again, Joey Styles says. I can tell you something, Joey. Gumpher has kicked out of both ogre slams. He just dropped his Shrek like a bad way, Jonathan Coachman says. And hopefully Shrek will be man enough or ogre enough to beat him, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, Aiden English said he's not going to be man enough or ogre enough to beat him, Aiden English says. Oh! And a Fight Lord went down by mistake. unless that was by goal. And now, the Fight Lord, just has to call it like it is. And will Shrek yield to Gunther in the sleeper hold? And Joey Styles said, we have seen... Up! We have seen Gunther beat many a wrestler with that sleeper hold, many a fighter or overstar with that sleeper hold. And the Fight Lord's going to have to see if it's a sleeper and not a choke, Joey Styles says. Well, Jonathan Coachman said Shrek's going to have to show how man he is, how man enough he is, or how ogre enough he is to get out that sleeper hold or choke hold, Jonathan Coachman said. It's a sleeper hold, Aiden English says. There's no choke hold. The fight keeper, the fight lady, whatever you want to call her, would know that. And now Shrek is getting back up now. Shrek it was so much, and now Shrek is just right back in the sleeper. The fight lady called, the fight keeper calling for the ring. Ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF Pennsylvania Right fighter, Gunther. And Gunther is still the TWF Pennsylvania Right fighter. Joey Styles says he's not going to be getting any onlook from the TWF followership. But then again, a man like Gunther or Walter could kid two shits about onlook, Joey Styles says. You got that right, Jonathan Coachman says. He doesn't really care about onlook. He doesn't care about, class or anything like that. Jonathan Coachman says all he seems to really care about is, getting himself over as the world's greatest wrestler or greatest fighter or greatest overstar, Jonathan Coachman says. I'll tell you right now, Aiden English says, Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him, he is getting very near of becoming the world's greatest wrestler or greatest fighter or greatest overstar. At least that's my belief on the whole thing, Aiden English says. Alright everyone, we're going to take it away now to Mike Today. Thank you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to be talking with Gunther here today on Impact or Hit. Well, Gunther, we saw you have a match with Shrek, and just like what you did yesterday, you beat Shrek again. Yeah, I did. I did, Mike, today. I told you he wasn't man enough, or he wasn't ogre enough to beat me. But he keeps on being dumb enough. He keeps on wanting to get in a fight with me, knowing that every match and every fight he's in, he loses to me. So, what about onlook? What about class, Gunther? There is no room for onlook or class when it comes to skilled wrestling. If you want to be the world's greatest wrestler or greatest fighter, the greatest overstar, then you can't give two shits about onlook or class. That's how I became a two-time TWF Pennsylvania Right fighter. Not by doing it, not caring about onlook or class, but being the greatest wrestler in that wrestling ring and skilled wrestling or sports glee or whatever you want to call it. And I will be the TWF Pennsylvania Right fighter for a long time. Well, that was my talk with Gunther. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, Mike, today for talking with Gumpher here today on Impact or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and Aiden English. We hope you like Impact or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.